We're going to sit, relax, and then think about the times that you find yourself tensing up. What kind of things are happening to you when you tense up? Are you in traffic? Are you in the dentist chair? That's what happens to me. I tense up in the dentist chair and I find myself squeezing everything. And then I realize, let go. Okay. So we're going to think about that today. So find that place where everything feels a little steady, a little comfortable, centered on side to side. And then we're going to just bring the shoulders up. Inhale and exhale. Let them drop. Good. Take that again. Inhale and exhale. Good. And one more time. Inhale, bring it up and exhale. Good. Now pause here. We're just going to check in with the breath. So just let the breath come naturally through your nose and exhaling through the nose or the mouth. Good. Just letting that gentle, regular breath. Don't even feel like you have to change your breath. And just noticing where you feel the breath and visualizing that breath bringing in the energy that you need for this class and the rest of the day. And maybe even think about what kind of energy do you want the rest of the day? Would it be a calming energy, an uplifting one, or all of it? Okay. Good. And let's take 3 more breaths. Seeing if you can breathe smoothly so that when your inhale finishes, there's just a little pause and then the exhale starts. And as the exhale finishes, the inhale starts back up. It's almost like you're circling, breathing in a circle. Lulu's off to the side, being silly. Good. And then gently open your eyes. Good. So we're ready to get started. All right. So let's do a little bit of stretching. Just reach out in any direction you want to go. And then feel your fingertips reach away. It doesn't have to be up or out. Just feel everything stretch and feel that reaching of your shoulders pulling away from your body. Fingertips spreading away from each other. That's our reaching. And then exhale. Bring it down. Okay. Again, reach and relax. Good. And last time. And this time, if you want to come higher, you're welcome to. But just pay attention to how your shoulders feel. And if your shoulders are going to be okay, we're going to reach more on the right side and more on the left side. And just observing side to side. Keep going. I'm going to let one more person in. So observing that this reaching takes everything away from the center of our body. Good. And then just release down. Good. Now with hands on shoulders, welcome. Inhale, elbows back. Exhale, elbows forward. Good. Inhale, reach back. Start to feel the shoulder blades drawing towards each other. Exhale, shoulder blades stretch and the chest comes forward, right? So let's take it one more time. Inhale, open, and exhale, forward. Now, depending on how your shoulders feel, let's see if we can take that around in a circle. And if you need to make it smaller, it's okay. And if you want to go bigger, you can go bigger. So we're just taking some big shoulder circles or little ones. One direction and then the other. Good. And then just let your arms relax. I know my shoulders get tired pretty quickly. So, and then when our shoulders get tired, what happens is our neck gets a little tense too, right? Yeah. So we're going to see if we can bring the chin up and back. So imagine that there's a wall behind you and you're pushing your head back into the wall. Okay. So we're going to push our head back into the wall and reach up as if something was pulling you from the crown of the head. Now lean your right ear toward the right shoulder and down with the left hand. Good. And let's take that left arm in circles, little circles. As we relax the right shoulder and the left shoulder away from the ear. Good. And then circle the other direction. Good. And then just letting your arm relax, the head comes back up. Nice job. I press my head sometimes if it's feeling a little weird. And then again, chin slightly back, lengthen the back of your skull. And we're going to lean left ear toward left shoulder Right hand reaches down, pressing out through the palm. Notice the top of your hand. This kind of activates those nerves in the top of your hand. And we're going to take some small circles. Good. Circle one direction, circle the other. Good. Lulu's looking away down there. All right, and then relaxing the arm, head comes back to center. All right, I'm going to turn to the right, noticing how far your range of motion is to the right. And then center and left. Good. Back to center, and this time chin down. But I want you to think about lifting up to the back of your skull. So you want to feel the back of the neck nice and long. Your shoulders are down, and then we'll draw a little smiley face across the chest, taking the chin to the right and then to the left. And you're talking to the neck, the upper shoulders, and asking them to let go a little. There we go, grasping versus letting go. Good, now bring your head back to center, and then we'll take that around in some small circles. So you're just drawing the letter O with your nose, slowly, small, getting bigger if that's comfortable for you. Maybe you get some crackles here. And after a few, you're just going to reverse the direction. Good. And then bring your head back to neutral. Nice job. Okay, so we're kind of working from the head and shoulders down. All right, before you sit forward, let's just stretch out the legs. So we're bringing the legs out, pointing and flexing the toes, maybe moving the hands too, moving through the wrists and the ankles. Good. And then circling. A few times one direction and then reverse. Good. And then maybe one big reach. Legs stretch out, arms stretch out. Inhale, exhale, let go. Good. Nice job. All right, now begin to scoot forward in your chair. Noticing now that your back is doing some of the work, its own work to hold itself up. Anytime you need a break, you're just going to scoot all the way back again, and that's okay. All right? All right, so now we're going to talk about that reaching again. If you take your right hand and push out to the right, notice how far can you go before you feel like you're going to fall out of the chair. All right, there's a tipping point, right? If you go too far, you will fall. All right, and then back to center. All right, let's do the same arm. We're going to reach out and then pull back in. Imagine you're pulling a rope back in and then pushing away and pulling in. Good, last time. Push away and pull back in. So I taught a morning class, and let's take the right shoulder around a few times. I taught a morning class near me, and I asked them, when you reach out too far, what's trying to bring you back to center? Does anybody have an answer? You can point. Point to some part of your body that's bringing you back. You got it, Victoria. Core, okay? All right. And it's not just a six pack, it's the whole center of the body. So we're going to reach out to the left and then pull it back in. And then reach. So the whole core is holding you here and then pulling back. And then one more time, reach out and then pull it back in. Good job. All right, now right arm's going to reach across the body, taking a little twisting motion here and then pull it back in. And left arm reaches across the body and pull back. Good, one more time. Reach across and pull back. You might feel this across the back of your body, stretching along the spine and then pull it back. Good. Now, as we take the right arm across, draw a rainbow, go up and over. And then the left arm across and draw a rainbow. Nice job. I like the rainbows, right? All right, one more time. Right arm and a rainbow. And left arm and the rainbow. Nice job. Okay, now imagine you have a really messy table in front of you. So as the right arm reaches across, we clean the table. And then the left arm reaches across and we clean the table. There's a little bit of leaning. Can you feel the back muscles working? The belly muscles working as we clean this really messy table. Good. Phew. I'm already getting tired. Saw that junk mail, right? All right, and then come back up. Phew. All right, good job. Deep breath and a big sigh. Good job. All right, let's take a little water break. I know it's a little early, but I'm super thirsty. So if you want, grab a sip and we'll get to some of the other stuff. You want some water, Mom? Yes. Grab some if you want. Okay. So as you come forward, you may not need the block anymore, okay? But you can. If you want them, you're welcome to use this one. All right, so we're gonna add, let's warm up the hips first and then we'll add the block, okay? So how do we warm up the hips? We bring it up and move it side to side. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, it's okay to keep your foot down and just let the knee come in and out. All right, so we're just doing the amount that feels best for our bodies today. And if you want the most effort, it's no hands, which I'm not doing. It's too much for me. Okay, yeah, my leg's like, oh, that's tiring. All right, relax. Notice how that right side feels. And then we'll do the left. Again, your choice is low, medium, or high, holding on or not holding on, okay? So people say, how do you get your hips moving when you're sitting in a chair? This is pretty much it. All right, and then release that. Shoo, start to notice this stuff, okay? All right, now we're gonna take and bring a pillow or a block between the knees. The pillow is much more comfortable, but the block works too. I'm going to stick with the pillow because I like it. And I think the last time I worked with you all, we did this too. So what I want you to do is squeeze the pillow, but I'm going to have you turn your toes slightly in and your heels slightly out, as if you were rolling your thighs in. Can you feel the hips here? Good. Can you feel your back? You may not feel the back. That's just me personally where I feel it. So we're going to squeeze the pillow about 50% effort and then let it relax. Do you feel the difference? Yeah. So this inner thigh, the adductors, are part of our core. So we squeeze and relax and squeeze and relax. All right. Now we're going to squeeze about 50% effort. Sit tall, pressing your hands down, keeping your spine really long, and then a little hinge forward. Keep your spine long. Good. Keep squeezing the pillow or the block. And then if you want more, arms reach forward. Palms up, pinkies towards each other, and we shrug the shoulders up and then bring them back down. Good. 3 big breaths into your rib cage. Can you feel your ribs expand behind you? Good. Tuck the chin slightly. There we go. 2 more breaths. Good. And then release. Phew. Let's take this out and then just do a little windshield wiper movement. So that's the foundation training stuff. It's the weird stuff. But what it does is it helps our body find the right support, the right structure, and then teach the muscles to support there, okay? So we have 1 more of those that we're gonna do while we're sitting. All right, and this one is pillow or no pillow, okay? So you can simply be here, or you can add the pillow, okay? All right, for this one, we're gonna keep our hands on our thighs, press down so that our spine is long, lean forward a little, and then let the shoulders roll back, the chest lifts, we look up. So you should have a little bit of a back bend here. Good. And then we return to neutral. Okay? All right, we're going to do that two more times, and then I'm going to add to it. So remember, anytime any of this causes pain, you simply stop and back off, okay? So again, long spine, a little lean forward, chest forward, shoulders back, look up, and then neutral. This is like our cat-cow, but we're only doing the cow part, okay? All right, one more time. Lean forward, shoulders back, chest forward, look up. Pause here, keep breathing. Good. If you want more, arms are going to come off, hands are going to come off, and we're going to have these spread fingers. Good. 2 big breaths. See if you can direct your breath into the back of your ribs. Easier said than done, I know. Good. And one more. And then hands back to thighs, come back. That's the strong step, okay? Go ahead and move the block or the pillow out of the way. And then just take some circles. Let your legs go a little wider. Take your body around. Circling and just feeling all the different sensations as we go one direction. And then reversing to go the other way. Good. All right, and then coming back to center, we're going to come back to some shoulder work, okay? For this one, you're welcome to sit back if you prefer. And we're just going to take the arms out wide. Okay, spread your fingers apart from each other. Thumb is reaching away from the pinky. There's a lot of work happening there. And then we're going to let the right hand come over toward the left. It may not reach. We're just going to go in that direction and slide the right hand across the chest. And then left hand over to the right, finding a little twisting motion, and then slide that back open. Good. Bring your hands to prayer. And then we'll send right arm up as we look up. Left hand down as we look down. Diagonal shape. Back to center. Left hand up as we look up. Right hand down as we look down diagonal. And then come back to center. Nice job. All right, one more time. Open out wide. And this time left over to right. And open it out wide. And right over to left. And open it up. To prayer. Right hand up. Left hand down. Back to center. Left hand up. Right hand down. And back to center. Good job. Hands on thighs. Forward bend. Choosing how far you want to go depending on how it feels on your back. So for me, this is probably not, I probably don't want to go too much further. You're welcome to bring forearms down. Some of you may reach the ground or your shins, but take your time and really pay attention to what your body's asking for here and not just how far you can go. And I want to mention, since I'm recording this, that if you have some excess stuff, you can move it around, okay? You can move your belly to get down there between the thighs. And we're going to pause here. Here's where you let go. So can you soften your face, relax your shoulders, relax your tush, and then just breathe. Good. And then as you're ready, we'll begin to make our way back up, walking our hands to our thighs and rolling up our lower back, middle back, shoulders, and head. Good. How's everybody feeling so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, good. All right. So now we're going to go into our windshield wipers, okay? But with legs wide. So you might need to hold on to the sides of your chair or the seat of your chair. We're going to go side to side. Right, Lulu? Good. Good. And the next time we go to the right, I want you to plant the right foot. Excuse me, Lulu. I got to scoot over. And then the left foot can be here, or you can dip the knee down and tuck the toes back. This is a lunge pose, but for some reason, if this bothers your knee, your hip, or your foot, it's okay to take your leg off to the side. Okay, so take your time. Set it up the way you want to. Right hand can hold onto the chair for support, okay? Now, that left knee, if you're in the lunge position, is reaching down. You may feel the front of your thigh and the front of your flexor right here, okay? Now, we're going to add a little movement here. So the outside arm, which is going to be your left arm, is going to come to your shoulder. Hand to shoulder. And with an inhale, lift your elbow, reach your hip down. So we're leaning to the right. And then bring it down and hike your hip up toward your elbow. So we're doing a little side crunch there. Take two more. Inhale, expand, lean, exhale, curl in. This is that reaching motion. And then one more time. And exhale. Good. Now, as you choose, that left arm can come up and over, and pause here for an extra breath. Good. And then releasing that, If you like a twist, let your body turn to the right. Pause here for 2 breaths. Good. And then we'll come back to center. Unwind your twist. Come back to center. Legs are still wide. And in between sides, we're just going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, swish. I like to say swish. My friend says this. Inhale up. And exhale, swish. Good. And one more time. Inhale up. Good. And exhale, swish. Good. Nice job. Okay. Phew. Second side. Swing it over to the left. Plant the left foot. Adjust your right leg so it's where you need it. It could be out to the side. It could be pointing down into that lunge shape. Right. This can be a little intense for feet, you know, but do what you can. All right, we're going to do the same motion. So the right hand comes to the right shoulder. And with an inhale, lift up with the right elbow, lift, reach down with your left hip. Right hip. And then exhale, curl in. The elbow comes down, hip hikes up. All right, 2 more. Inhale, reach up and away. And exhale, curl in. Good, last one. And exhale. And then letting that right arm be on the shoulder or up and over. We'll take 2 more breaths. Tuning back in to the sensations in your body, where you need to grasp and where you do not need to grasp here. Good. And then letting that release, adding the twist to the left if you'd like, starting to turn toward the back of your chair. Sorry, you're the opposite of everybody. All right, so we're just turning toward the back of the chair to your right for you. Good. And then we'll unwind from the twist, come back to center. Good job. And then just a little forward bend. So feel free to come halfway, part way, sit back in your chair, whatever feels good for you, okay? We're just going to take a little break in between this and the next thing. Good. All right. And then walk your hands back up to upright and bring your feet closer together, okay? All right, so let's get the feet going. So I know you can't see my feet. I'm going to angle the camera a little bit. Now you can see Lulu. Lulu's always sleeping. All right, so I want you to lift your heels and then lift your toes. So heel, toe. Good. See how the ankles and the feet are feeling. So now we're going to get a little fancy. I know for some of you it's lunchtime and maybe but hopefully you've had your coffee today, right? So we're going to do right heel, left toe. Left heel, right toes. Alternate, switch, switch. Like you're paddling a boat, okay? All right, you're figuring it out. Good. All right, now we're going to add same hand, same hand. Okay, good. Now, what if your hands do something different while your feet keep going? Can you circle your wrists while your feet are going? I lost it. All right, let's tap out the feet, shake the hands. It's brain work, and I love to include brain work, okay? All right, good job. Phew. All right, so now let's do another water break, and then we'll make our way up to standing for optional standing poses, okay? So grab some more water. You know, in Florida, we're not all the way south anymore, but the humidity is 67% here. And this is considered dry, our dry season. You know, it was 90% not that long. So that's kind of crazy. Okay, good. So when you're ready, if you want to stand, I want you to be very mindful. Knees over feet. And then just getting your weight over your feet and come back up. Good. If you have a fancier way to do it, go for it. And then guess what? We're going to sit back down. Good. So I want to introduce something just a little different for me. So if you need to use your hands on the chair, that is absolutely fine. But if you want to try something a little different, I'm going to have you reach forward with your hands and up slightly. Get your weight forward and notice how much work would it take for you to come up from here. Use your hands if you need to. There we go. We made it. Phew. All right, now walk around so you're behind your chair. I'm going to change my camera angle again. All right. You guys, you all are lucky today. I only did a couple of those. Somebody told me they went to a chair yoga class where they did that 50 times. 50 times, up and down, up and down, up and down. I think you would hate me if I did that, so I'm not going to do it. All right, so let's get our feet just kind of toes facing forward. And actually, I like to go a little wider on this, and let's just let the hips go side to side. Getting sassy with our hips, right? Marilyn Monroe style. And then after, yeah, there you go. All right, and then add some circles. Go around. Ah, yeah, there we go. And switch direction. So this is Tom Jones style. All right, Tom Jones style. And then if you put your weight into one foot and move the other hip around, that's Elvis style, right? Elvis style. All right, and then switch, weight on the other foot, and the other hip loops around. Ooh, this side doesn't move as well for me. All right, not so Elvis-y on this side. All right, good job. All right, and then let's come back to center. All right, now with your toes, think about lifting not the whole front of your feet, but just the toes off the ground, okay? So just the toes come up off the ground. Make sure you've got your chair, yeah, so you don't fall back, okay? Because it happens. You lift your toes, it sends you back. So we're going to try and keep the big part of our foot down, but just the toes lift. All right, now toes down, heels up. Good, one more time. Heels down, toes up, and then toes down, heels up. All right, now pause here, maybe one arm off the chair. Maybe you switch arms. Maybe you try to do both. Maybe not. Ah, all right, and release. Good. It's a good way to check in with your balance. All right, so from here, we're going to come into our standing sun salutations, or our half sun salutations, okay? So inhale, arms up. Exhale, soften the knees, and we begin to fold. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Keep your back straight as much as possible. Bend your knees so you're thinking about belly to thighs. Good. And then inhale, come up halfway, keeping the back straight, pressing into your thighs or your shins. Exhale, back down. And then come all the way up, sweep the arms up. Good. And release. Beautiful. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, soften the knees, forward bend. Taking it easy, listening to that back. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening the back as much as you can. Exhale, back down. And then sweep all the way back up. Good. Hands to heart. Good. Version 2. Bend the knees, sit back. So it's going to look a little bit like this, like our chair pose, right? All right. Now notice arms forward helps us balance a little bit better. Good. And then dive down, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Back muscles working. Exhale, back down. Bend the knees, sit back. Chair pose. Press into the heels of the feet. Come on up. Good. Release. One more variation of that chair salutation. Bend the knees, sit back. Think about what your tailbone's doing. Are we tilting, tucking under, tilting out? We want somewhere right neutral, okay? All right. And then with hands in prayer, Turn so that your right elbow comes toward your left knee. I'm not saying it's going to reach. Some of you it'll reach, but not for me. Back to center, left elbow toward right knee. Good. Back through center, forward bend. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Bend the knees, sit back. Last time chair pose, I promise. Chair is a tough pose. At least it is to me. And then pressing in through the feet, come on up. Good, release. Phew. So we work and then we let go. Take the feet a little wider, toes turned out. Swing it side to side. We're just swinging, easy swings, arms flapping along. As we turn to the right, the left heel comes up and vice versa. I was going to say you can whack your neighbors, but you all are in separate places. That's pretty cool. All right. And then we'll come back to center. Good job. Okay, so let's see. What do we have? Let's go into down dog. So my version of down dog starts here. I hold on to the back of the chair. Step back. Bend the knees a little bit. Reach back with the hips. Straightening out from hands to low back. Head relaxes here. And then you can bend one knee, press the other leg straight, and switch. Bending the opposite knee, other leg straight. Kind of going side to side. And then looking forward, we'll walk forward. So that's the variation I like, hands on the chair. I really like to do this on the kitchen counter too, sometimes in the morning. Another variation, depending on how you feel, is to face the seat of your chair. And then you would do the same thing. You hold on to the seat of your chair, hands on the seat or hands on the side of the chair, and then step back into your depth. So you can choose either one of those. I just want you to know that there's lots of choices. I'm sure you've already learned about so many of these. Good. And then walk forward. Good. Right. Okay. Now, as we face forward, we're going to find a warrior two stance. Okay. If you need to sit down, it's always okay. And you just do the arm parts. Okay. All right. So we're going to do right foot forward, left foot back. And then angle the left foot so that your hips are facing forward. So think about these hip points as headlights on a car, and you want them to point forward, okay? All right, so we're situated, and now what we're going to do is bring the hands back. Remember, you can always hold on to the chair if you need, okay? And as you bend the right knee, we're pushing. And then as you straighten the right knee, we're pulling back. Good. Push. Pull. Push. Pull. Good. Last one. Push and hold. Feel how your weight has shifted. And then let your arms reach back. Good. Now, I notice I'm leaning forward. Okay? If you wanted to bring the arms forward and up, you can do that in Warrior One. My back doesn't like that, so I'm always going to lean a little bit forward. So take a breath or two here. Good. And then releasing, step the back foot forward. Phew. Warrior One is called that for a reason. It's a strong pose. It doesn't look like a lot when you first set it up. All right, second side. Left foot forward, right foot back. Whoa. Make sure your chair is there if you're feeling wobbly. And the left toes are facing forward. The right toes are slightly off to the side, but your hips are facing forward. Hip points right here, okay? All right, same thing. Hands here. And then as we bend the left knee, we'll push forward. The pushing comes from here as well as our arms. And then pull back in. And push. And pull. Good, last one. Push. And pull. Good. Now remember, you have the option as you bend the knees to lean forward, reach back. You have the option to bring the arms up and chest up, depending on what variation of warrior one you like. I like leaning a little bit. Good, and then we'll just go ahead and release the arm, step the back foot forward. Phew. Shake it out, dance it out. I have a client that always wants to do John Travolta. He always does this John Travolta move every single time. So we just do it for fun. Okay. All right, last bit of standing. We're going to take feet wide, toes turned out. And then how wide your feet are is really up to you. You want hip width or just a little bit wider, okay? Some people go super wide, but you choose what works for you. The important thing is I want you to play with a little bend in the knees, and then where's the tailbone? Are you pointing out, down? You want it kind of neutral. You can feel from your belly and your low back right about where you are, okay? All right, so we're going to find goddess pose, okay? So hands here. Good, and then reach, push, and then pull back down. Ooh. Push back up and pull back down. Good, last one, push up and pull back down. Good, now we're reaching for the clouds in the sky. And we want to gather the clouds and bring them down. So we're taking those clouds and saying, let's clear the sky. And then we move the clouds out of the way. Phew. All right, good job. And then just standing and resting. That's a lot of work on those slides. These muscles right here, those are our quadriceps. Those are so powerful. One last thing I want to do while we're here, and it's okay if you want to go a little bit not as wide of a stance. I want you to think about shifting your weight from one foot to the other. Feels like a dance, right? And then taking your weight over just briefly. It's okay to hold on to your chin. Just briefly into one foot. What does it take to stay on that one foot for a little while? Maybe it's not even going to happen today, and that's okay. Why would we even do this? Most of us will never do this on purpose. It happens when we get thrown off balance. So we have to remember that our core is what tries to pull us back to normal, okay? All right, and then if you just did one side, make sure you do the other side too. We call this falling star. Right? Hopefully not fall in star. We don't want to actually fall. All right. That's balance work. Again, we don't normally do this. We would never normally do that in our regular life, but it may just happen when we're not planning on it. All right, last move before we sit. Legs wide, toes forward. Good. All right, and then letting our hips hinge back, keeping the spine long. All right, arms going to reach forward, fingers, pinkies together, palms are up. Tuck your chin a little bit and reach through the back of the neck. Feel the back muscles working here. And with your inhale, we're coming back to upright. And with your exhale, you're hinging your hips back, bringing your arms forward. Good. Two more. Inhale, up. Exhale, hinge and reach. There's that reach again. Last one. Inhale, up. Exhale, hinge and reach. Take 2 breaths here. Breathe into the rib cage. Exhale, pull the belly away from your waistband. One more. And then releasing, letting go. Hands to thighs. Maybe to the shins. Maybe some of you reach the ground. Don't be in a hurry. Choose what feels relaxing for you here. There's that letting go. The parigraha. Good. And then slowly come back up. Phew, we got to do it really slowly because we don't want to get dizzy. All right, bring the feet back together. If you have another stretch you want to do before you sit down, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and make our way back to our chairs. So as you all know, yoga is not always about strength, and it's not always about stretching. We need both, and we've got to balance both of them. We want relaxation, but we also want to feel strong. All right, let's do some shoulders. So we're going to come back into our cactus arms that we use for goddess pose. Good. And inhale, elbows come back a little bit. Maybe we even lift our chest like our cat-cow. And exhale, rounding and curling as the elbows come towards each other. Tuck the chin. Take 2 more. Inhale, expanding through the chest. And exhale, rounding and curling, pulling the belly in. And last one. And exhale. Okay, we come back to neutral spine. And this time as the elbows come together, right goes on top of left. And we just give ourselves a hug. Some of you can do the back to back of your hands, but you choose what works for you, okay? All right, shoulders down. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, elbows down toward your belly, curling, using your abdominal muscles. Take 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And exhale. Good. Coming back up, unwind the arms, fly away. Those are eagle arms. So now we get to fly. Okay. All right. Back to cactus. And this time as the elbows come together, left goes on top of right. And you can set again, hands to shoulders, back to back, or wrapping. Okay. Okay. Always say shoulders down away from the ears. We don't need earrings for shoulders. Shoulders for earrings. This time we're going to do a little circle, drawing the letter O with our elbows. Can you feel the abdominal muscles in this little movement? And then reverse direction of your circles. Nice job. All right, when you're ready to let go, open it up, fly away. Great. Phew, let the shoulders relax. Good. So eagle pose, I'm sure you've done it before, is usually the arms and the legs doing this stuff like a pretzel pose. We just did the arm part of it. All right, so come forward if you're already sitting back in your chair. So we'll come back forward. All right, so we're going to come into our pigeon pose. And I want to give you a few different variations, okay? I know that you all do pigeon, but I don't remember who does what. So right ankle in front of left, and we form a wing with the right knee, okay? So we flap the wing. And then here's the variations, okay? Halfway up. Maybe on a block. And for those of you who have no hip issues, you may get up to your thigh. Okay, so choose what works for you. I'm going to do the block today. Does that work for you, Mom? Okay. All right, now sit tall. Good. And then choose how far you want to lean forward. So in pigeon pose, this is where we really start to get into that right hip, right sciatic nerve, and even the low back area. So pause here. And then soften your face. Relax everything that's not working here. 2 more breaths. Some people love pigeon pose. Some find that it's just too much or not even enjoyable. Good. And then we'll slowly come up. And then bring the right knee in. And then kick out the leg. Yay. Second side. Left ankle crosses in front of right, making the wing on this side. Flap the wing. And then taking it in stages. If you know you can get to the thigh, go for it. If you need to check it out and take it in stages, use your block. Use a table, use a book, whatever you need to use. And we start to get that same shape of external rotation in this hip. Good. And then once you get it in place, and I really say, make sure you have that ankle as an L shape, which protects the knee, okay? Now decide if you're going to lean into this. Take your time before you decide how far to go. And then once you get to the edge of where you feel you want to be, we'll take 3 breaths. Using your hands to press back up. Nice. All right, left knee comes up. Maybe we give it a kiss. Forgot the other side. All right, and then stretch it out and release. Okay. Good job. All right, sit back in your chair for a bit. We may be here for the rest of the class. It's nice to sit back, isn't it? We always like, and for me, I like the pillow under my low back. That's just my thing. It feels good when I'm sitting back. That's my corner of the sofa. All right. I like to have the pillow behind my back. Let's do some toe curls. So we're going to curl the toes and the fingers and then spread them out. Toes and fingers and spread. Good. One more time. Toes and spread. Good. All right. Release. And then let's do right hand palm up. And I'm going to get closer so you all can see me. The left hand takes one finger at a time and presses down. Now, elbow can be bent by your side, or you can stretch out the arm, and we're just stretching one finger at a time down toward the ground. Feeling this up through the wrist and all the way up through the forearm, the carpal tunnel area. Good. Good. Now turn the right palm forward. Use the left hand to give that thumb a traction, a little bit of length, and a little twisting motion. Oh, that's a good one too, Lenny. Nice little massage in your hand. I love that. She's doing that. You must have learned that from Deanne. That's a nice one. Okay. All right, shake out the right hand. Let's do the second side. Left hand, palm up, and then one finger at a time. Where you kind of start to discover the different parts of your hands, how they work, and how some of them may not be as happy, you know, as other parts. My thumb joint is where I have the arthritis, right? So you can gently traction, give some space to the joint, do a little twisting motion. Okay. All right, and then shake out the left hip. All right, I have one more hand that's a little more intense, so we're going to give it a try, okay? Arms reach out, bending at the wrist. If your neck gets tense, you can lower the arms, okay? So we're going to reach out and spread the fingers out. Ooh, that's intense. You feel it across the top of the hand? All right, and then you're going to bring pinkies, ring, middle, index finger, thumb. Not everybody can do that, okay? Turn the palms up, inhale, exhale, turn them down. Good, one more time, spread it out wide, and then one finger at a time from the pinkies in. Ooh, it's pretty intense. Thumbs, inhale, turn it up, exhale, turn it down. Good, and then bringing the arms forward. Tuck your thumbs under and then wrap your fingers around the thumb. So you're kind of squeezing the thumb in and the fingers on the thumb joint. Remember, if it hurts, just going to go regular, okay? And then tilt down like you're pouring from a pitcher. It's a big stretch right across the top of your thumb joint. Good. And then last time. Fingers spread wide, thumbs in, fingers wrap around, tilt down. Ooh, yeah, that's intense. Shake it out. Good. Maybe you do a little massage, and that's okay. You can massage through any part of the hand that's saying, oh, that was a lot, you know. Let's keep in line with that massage. All right, so we're going to take right hand to left shoulder. And the other hand comes under the elbow to help you get it there, okay? And you're just giving yourself a little massage along the side of your neck, top of your shoulder, anything you can reach. And notice if you have any tension through that area. This is a really, really high tension area for me. Okay. This is so nice if somebody else does it for you, but this is what you can do, what you can do for yourself. Good. And then switch sides. Left hand to right shoulder. Right hand helps hold it up. And then we do that little massage at the neck and the top of the shoulder. Trapezius muscles. Trapezius and rhomboids are all in there. Nice. And then as you let go, notice how your neck and your shoulders feel. All right. And then continuing the massage, I'm just going to do the little circles on the forehead. Put my glasses to the side. And then the temples. Good. Then the jaw. Right where your teeth come together. Oh, I've been talking a lot. My jaw is very stiff. All right, and then thumbs under the chin. Nice job. And last thing, moving your hands together, interlacing the fingers, move the wrists around. And then press your palms. You can reach out. You can keep your elbows bent. If you want to come up, you can reach up. And we might lean a little to the right. And center and left. And then relaxing all down. Good. All right. Take any last minute stretch, any last minute anything you need before we come into our final resting part. But when you're ready, go ahead and find that resting place. And I know some of you might go over to your sofa. You're welcome to go to your sofa, your recliner, or anything for our Shavasana. So all you're going to do is just make yourself comfortable. And then take an inhale. And then exhale, sigh. Close your eyes if you'd like. And then just letting everything settle down. We've just spent some time moving, reaching, grasping. And now it's time to let go. So scan your body, notice what needs to soften. Maybe there's a space right between your eyebrows that can be a little more relaxed. Or the jaw, your lips and your cheeks. Send that relaxation down to your shoulders, down each arm, both hands. And I'm sorry if you hear snoring, that's my dog, Lulu. Noticing where you're sitting. Can you soften at your glutes? Carry that softening, letting go down the thighs, the knees, the calves, and the feet. And then finally, letting the mind be at rest. Doesn't mean it goes blank. It just means that you find one point for it to focus. And we'll be here for a few more breaths. I'll bring you back when it's time. Very gently begin to let your awareness come back to your body. Feeling the air as it enters through your nostrils and back out again. And then adding a little bit of movement. Maybe you wiggle your fingers, your toes. Move the head around, wrists, ankles, whatever you're ready for. This is your choice. And if you want to take a big stretch again, you're welcome to do that. It's almost as if you were waking up for the first time during the day. Good. Gently open the eyes. Nice job. One more deep breath. And a big sigh. Good. And then placing your hands over your chest, feel your heart beating. Feel your breath happening automatically. So many things work in our body without us even trying to do anything. I thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me sees and honors the light in each one of you. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.